So, worth. Worth. Plus ADC in 2K17? Come on. Anyways, I want to talk to you guys about some of the PvE changes and updates before we get into like anything else. Because I really want to do the Hyper Life Drifter video, but I also didn't want to do too many consecutively uploaded. So, the first thing I want to talk about was the practice tools for sandbox mode. Now, at first I was thinking like, whoa, how convenient, sandbox mode, right? But the thing is, like, at first, this is my first thought about it. I was like, wow, sandbox mode, like, what much could you possibly change from like playing against bots versus sandbox mode? Because essentially what I'm thinking, because I played against bots before, everyone's played against bots before, but I probably played more bots than the most plat players, right? So you can do basically almost anything you can do against bots, except bots, they kind of have to be there. While I guess you're playing in sandbox mode, practice tool mode, you don't have to be there. You can also change all the different features, such as you can toggle minion spawn, they don't have to spawn, or they can spawn, which is really neat. These are like small luxury items. You can spawn dummies, such things like that. The only problem I really have with this is that there aren't too many things that people that could notice without this. Like, there are a lot of things people can use without this to finding out like particular things, such as, wow, I can hit that thing from this time. Once this spawns, wow, I can hit it from over here at this exact time at 5:34, right? You can do this all in like custom game modes with your friends or whatever. What this allows you to do is also test builds very quickly. You don't have to wait time, which is really, really good, especially for competitive play, constructive play. It might even be useful for like if you want to do more casual 1v1 competitive mode, which I think we should definitely do. So it should be like a tournament type thing someone should run. This is like a total throwback to back in the day when there was a whole bunch of sniping montages and stuff like that, where, you know, 1v1 and Rust and stuff like that. This could be a thing. So that's what I'm thinking. It's more of a luxury tool for people who aren't so much playing constructively. So like for solo queues, not much of a big deal, right? You pretty much aren't gonna use any of these like LCS tactics besides like the champions are gonna take off of them. But other than that, it's not too much of a benefit, but it is nice to have. I do think they should have added it earlier because it does add the added benefit of knowing what your build does, how that build affects champions, if it's the most optimal. Now people can say, oh, they can do the math and whatnot, right? This is the most optimal build for that character. But actually having the being able to actually experiment with it and test it is a whole new different story, because you can actually do it instead of just like taking someone's word for it. And of course, like, these things all differ, because especially when you get like targeted items that have their own abilities, it's like, wow, I love this. I love how this can slow with my Aurelian Soul. Like, I never thought they can slow Aurelian Soul, although it does a little less damage than my Rod of Ages. It slows. And then of course small stuff like that. So it's cool to see how their builds work. And that's essentially how I see it as. It's not as a consistent player, but that's that. Next up, we have Darius changes. So Darius he has to play a lot more technical? Not technical. For lack of better terms, you have to be careful where you hit your Q, because now if you hit him with the handle, it's going to be doing about 15% less AD damage in AD. So it's pretty gutted. But I don't expect it to be that much of a problem, because most Darius players play Darius because they know how to play Darius. And so, like, if you're a noob and you're just hitting people with your handle, it's like, you know, whatever. Whatever. Oh, the next one. Okay, so they're changing Lulu. I do think they should have increased the AP ratio for Glitter Lance, because if they don't, actually no, that's fine, because if they do, there'll be a lot more Lulu mid, and we don't want Lulu mid. Most boring metagame you'll ever see. They did lower the ratio for Glitter Lance. It's still utility. It's basically a root for Lulu, or Q's root basically, a targeted one at least. So this makes her slightly better in bot lane, because we can make it more spammable. Although it's 10, but I mean, you have about like 400 mana, and if you spam this down like, I guess 20 times, right, you're saving a lot. over time, of course, and this is not including mana again. So it's nice. It's a nice little quality of life buff. Not too much of a big deal, I don't think. I could be wrong because the meta may change, and you know, certain metas call for different champions. Although I do have to say, they should be. I want to say they should be buffing Sona a little bit more, just ever so to make her slightly more viable. Because today I was playing with the Sona player. She's like, "Oh, Sona's fine." This Sona, this player, she goes 112 against Corki. I'm like, what? What? You literally just have to Q and then like, of course, okay, he can sustain, right? But you can sustain. You have a Q, auto attack, Q, power play. It's like a 3-hit thunder buff, thunder whatever, thunder shock. I can't think of that perk for now, right now. That mastery. So they should look at the different supports. I know a few more supports need some more love, but it's whatever. New effect, Master Yi's Meditate, gain stacks. I don't need Master Yi. His double strike now acts like Lucian's Light Slinger, where it kind of just like drifts off if you don't quite have a target to hit, which I think will be interesting. But if it's like this huge like sword following you because he right when he auto attacked you kind of went back to the fountain, so it's gonna be kind of weird. But it's melee, so is it gonna be instant? I don't know. It's kind of weird, but it's cool. It's cool. Nidalee changes. I think Nidalee should be used a little more because she has more healing, which is nice. It's a little better. Warwick changes. I've went over Warwick before. Basically, I think Warwick's gonna be okay at best. I don't think he's gonna be. Now Riot has said this before. They were like, "Oh, we're gonna make Jhin not the best pick, right?" But he's still not the best. But I think he's rocking like one of the highest win rates for any ADC at the moment. Because it's funny because like ADC in 2017, but the thing about Jhin is like he's really bursty, and you can optimize so you can actually play against his weaknesses pretty well, right? Because you get like 700 range with your if you get the long range rapid fire cannon, right? Whereas other ADCs they're not gonna get that because why would you get that, you know? So to each their own, but my quarrel with Warwick is he doesn't have the best ways of getting things, and if you're behind, you're not going to be able to use them to their full potential because you kind of require them to be low in order to jump in on them. Ugh, okay, so what are we talking about? Warwick. So yeah, one of the things about Warwick is like he's a little more reliant. He's kind of like Garen in the sense that you're kind of reliant on how your passive goes off. So. And if we notice, like, out of all the Juggernauts that did see play during their innovation, Garen wasn't played as much. He was played, like, a few times. Darius was played a lot. I don't think Skarner was played as much. And I totally can't remember, though. But Darius was played because he was pretty strong. And so, like, that's only his real problem. Being able to, like, dash, it's helpful, but maybe slightly increase the dash range. From what I've played, I think they should increase the dash range, but if you have Flash or if you're running Ghost, I could see why, but if you're running him jungle, it's like, okay, now you need the smite that can slow him down, which is not really the best because you want to get the smite that gives you more true damage because you're going to be doing a lot of auto attacks, and so that's probably the best bet. Who knows? They're updating Yasuo, so Yasuo is going to be doing more magic damage, which I think is really good, personally, because it also is nerfing his early game ever so slightly, whereas if he doesn't build 80 right away, and usually if you play against Yasuo, you're going to be running like armor reds, I believe, and so basically what this means is if he maxes E first against range matchups, Yasuo is not going to be able to simply just run him down because it's 10 less damage, right? And you get magic resist per level, that's including range champions. So 10 does kind of add up. And late game, it maxed out 100 opposed to 150. So playing against Yasuo is going to be slightly less frustrating, but if he is ahead, he's still going to take off because they gave him the new 20% bonus 80 buff. So this is helpful I believe around mid game where Yasuos don't want to build as much attack damage. Well, whereas when they start building attack damage, because before that you want to build a lot of attack speed so you can get your Qs off earlier, build stack shivs, you got a small power spike. So those are the better things early. So this does put Yasuo at a small disadvantage early game, which helps because he's been pretty dominant. But from what I've seen lately, every Yasuo's been healing off, so that's pretty good. Changing Ardent Sensor, it's going to be really good for healers and controllers. I think it's called controllers now. I don't know. And then they're changing Death Blade. They're going to increase damage to 75, which is pretty good. You know, more buffs for assassins because assassins aren't played that much. But I feel like they're going to this position where they're going to make assassins have to be played because they're so good. I think maybe we should have kept it. I think that would have been fine. Drag fire. I don't play assassins too much, but that's whatever. They did nerf the Hextech Gunblade for Katarina, which is what I expected they should do. The Lightning Bolt active starts at 175 and goes to 250 from 250 plus bonus AP, which is huge because if you're playing against Katarina, which I played Katarina, and the thing is Katarina, she's not as easy as she was before, so they made her a little harder. She's a little more forgiving. You can throw your Q, bounce your dagger, E to it, E back to a minion, and boom, you've got 3 minions for taking some poke and your Katarina. So if you get enough CS and you can go and gank someone, you're gonna pop off, you know? So that's pretty good for playing against Katarinas because Katarina is, I wanna say, pretty easy still. They do like to say how hard she is in her like champion profile, but she's honestly, once you get to understand how she works, well, you can a lot for any champion really. It just becomes just pretty easy. So self-explanatory. Redemption is getting a nerf, which is expected because it's a really strong item. People will build it simply because if you're not building it, giving your whole team 150 health in the middle of a team fight while destroying the minions, if you're like, I don't know, fighting under a tower, you want to get rid of all the minions because minion damage does stack up. This is super helpful. Like if you don't build this, your team's probably gonna lose a team fight. So that's really good. At first, when I used that item this patch, I was like, wow, that item, you know, no one's gonna use it because it doesn't do damage to champions, you know, but it's a lot. So that's essentially it. They're also getting rid of, they're lowering the base shield for Shadows of Colossus, or Courage of Colossus, which is nice because a lot of supports like Thresh being a bot lane, and it gets really frustrating because, wow, that shield. You know, they only go when that shield comes up, so that's that. Hope you guys liked the gameplay. It's not too much. I did try to make it so that it was interesting. Playing a lot of the Lux and then finding out how to use her skins is really fun. I'll probably use a lot of the Magma, because Magma is probably the best. And yeah, Magma's probably the best skin overall, all the Lux skins. So I hope you guys enjoyed that. If you guys enjoyed the video, I'll be bringing up some more League soon. I don't know, maybe till after the patch concludes, because that way I can play some stuff I want to play. Whatever that will be. I don't know. So, see you guys later, and peace out.